Welcome back to another episode of the All That Podcast. Today, I'm excited because I'm interviewing somebody who has been my best friend for 13 years. Always been my partner. And he also happens to be a pretty good chef.
I'm all right.
Yeah. So today I have Mr. Alexander Spikes, a.k.a. the Therapeutic Chef, a.k.a. the founder and CEO of the Dirty Apron, a.k.a. the executive chef. Well, we're going to say that because that's, we're going to say that. But just know that he working. So what's up, Al?
Shit, not much can't call him. It's been 13 years already?
It's been 13 years.
Yeah, so it's a little minute, man.
We're getting old.
We are getting old.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, me a little bit older, but
Yeah, I mean, we don't want to get into that right now.
Yeah.
We'll leave that to James. But,
oh, Jerome.
Yeah. So like I said in the introduction, you are a artist. I think artist is the right term because what you do with food and just not, how it tastes, but also the presentation takes pure artistry. You know what I mean? So, can you talk about how food was, I don't want to say introduced in your life because obviously you had to eat, but how food was introduced to you that made you want to make this a career?
Yeah, man. As far as me making it a career and a livelihood, that really came off the strength of just friends eating my food, wanting me to do something with it, man.
Right.
I originally would just cook sporadically, just to eat good. Look, hey, I'm a country nigga, man. Houston kind of raised me, but I was born in them, them backwoods in East Texas, man, and Lufkin and Dial and Jasper, where my folks from and stuff. So,
I got people in Jasper too, by the way.
Really?
Yeah.
Small world. Ain't that many of us out there.
Right.
But, yeah, man. So, basically, I kind of always had, a very soft spot in my heart when it comes to Southern cuisine. Love me some soul food, man. And I guess, being in Houston for a while and adapting and learning new things, I kind of, stuck my nose in the area of other culinary arts and different type of cuisines to eat and cook. And, so basically, man, yeah, I had a bad habit of cooking too much all the time.
Right.
I would cook like I had a family for 4 or 5, and it's just me in the house by myself.
Right.
Yeah. So, which, funny thing being a chef, I've definitely learned how to portion our foods. That's something you got to learn. But, so here, I always have so much food. I invite all my niggas over to eat, man.
Right.
Like, hey, come grab a plate. You know what I'm saying? And they'll come over and eat, and they'll, start a food truck, sell some plates.
Right.
Start a food truck, sell some plates, advertise it, market it, do something with food. I'm like, bro, no, I don't love cooking like that.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So
I remember, when you first started posting your food, I was like, dude, you need to I think I said start a YouTube channel or something.
You did.
I was like, you need to do something,
Yeah, I got that a lot too.
Yeah. But, okay, so who would you say is your culinary influence? Like for me, with interviewing, I would say Oprah is probably the person I look at and study the most when it comes to, interviewing and, in the lane that I'm in. So as far as your lane, it doesn't have to be somebody that's, that big. It could be some family. So who would you say is your biggest influence?
All right, so what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna give you two sides of that coin. I have those close to me personally in my life, and then I have those kind of celebrity chefs.
Okay.
As far as personally, my mama.
Right.
Shout out Mama Todd. What's up? That's my lady right there, man. Yeah,
yes,
my mom,
she
man.
Cold with it.
Yeah, man. I was one of those kids growing up. I was outside playing with the guys and hide and seek, freeze tag, all of that. But when I knew Mama was cooking, when you're young at 8, you either gonna be in or outside. You gonna keep running in and out this house in my damn air conditioner. She was one of them mamas, but she couldn't help it with me, man. Because whenever she would be cooking, I had to come in there and see what the hell she was doing to make it taste so damn good.
Right.
I just didn't understand it as a kid, so. I kind of developed a habit of watching my mom really close in the kitchen. And a lot of my dishes that I started off being really good at, came straight from her. Her recipes I still use to this day, a lot of this. So definitely my mom. Then I have a Mount Rushmore
Okay.
Like I was saying, being from the backwoods, I have some great aunts who are phenomenal in the kitchen. My aunt Dorothy, my aunt Willamay, Aunt May Francis, may she rest in peace. My pawpaw. Like, man, these ladies really put their foot in it, as the old folks say, and they don't hold back. And growing up eating their food, moving to Houston, I couldn't wait to get back to Lufkin for family reunions or the holidays, because I knew the spread that they had waiting on us. So yeah, family definitely played a huge part in, I guess, my first introduction to loving food that way. And that's just eating it. We ain't even scratch the surface on my love for it as far as doing it as a job now, because I didn't love cooking starting off, man. It was, I just liked it because I knew I could do it.
Yeah.
So as far as personal basis, those ladies and my granddad definitely kind of propelled me in that direction. And I say celebrity wise, I've read some books and did my research on a lot of great chefs, worldwide, who've done things, but it's this local guy who was based in Miami. I can't remember where he's from exactly, but man, Chef Tobias from Restaurant 13 here in Houston.
Yeah.
He is fucking phenomenal.
Yeah.
That guy's dope, bro.
Yeah.
Funny story, man. He don't know me from a can of paint,
Right.
personally. Even though we have DM before, that's a funny story. I shot him a DM when he was announcing that he was like first moving to Houston or something along those sorts. Maybe paraphrasing a bit along the lines of me wanting a mentorship or work for him at his new restaurant.
Just kind of study him a little bit.
Yeah, exactly. And I don't I ain't even finished culinary school yet. A lot of people don't know that. I'm still in culinary school. And I was just so excited to talk to this guy because I like every picture he posts. His food looks amazing. It's phenomenal. He's cooked overseas. He's cooked for a lot of famous celebrities here. He's basically a rock star chef. Yeah. And he asked, like, what restaurant I work at. And I told him, well, none yet. I'm trying to give him he didn't respond after that. He didn't respond after that, man, but I posted his work a couple of times and tagged him, and he's reposted it. But that's my favorite chef, right? Yeah. I've even tried to take a couple of pages out of his book and recreate some of his dishes because they just look so good. And I've had his food at 13 before, and it tastes just as good as it looked, man. So that's my celebrity chef that I definitely look up to, bro. Chef Tobias, shout out him. But other than that, I think those are my people. Or my sister Trey too. Like she pretty dope. God damn, she makes some good gumbo. Yeah, my sister Trey, man. So shout out her.
Yeah, you was gonna get it if you didn't mention her, by the way. So I'm glad you put that.
Facts. I have a couple of partners, that's that's local in Houston doing their thing. My boy Papa Spice, Timbo, shout out him. My boy Jamil, the chef, they doing their thing. Chasing the Taste, Chef J, she's phenomenal. She's a work hard herself. So, it's a big enough table for everybody to eat. It's a lot of up-and-coming chefs who haven't made their mark yet, who's still trying to make it, including myself. I'm not shit. I tell people that all the time. I ain't shit. I'm working to solidify my name in the culinary industry in Houston before, I branch out everywhere else. So, yeah.
So, the Dirty Apron was birthed out of a hardship in your life. Yeah. So, even if, by the way, he has a recipe book out, and you implement these themes of mental health throughout the cookbook.
Absolutely.
So can you kind of take us into what exactly was going on in that time of your life and how that made you transition into cooking, and how cooking kind of was your therapy in a way for what you were going through?
Yeah, man. That's kind of a very sentimental question, but at one point when I first started off, I would kind of shy away from what got me into cooking now the way it has been, and now I embrace it, bro. My favorite quote that I use is to embrace pain. I got that from my therapist I was going to see, and from my uncle as well, my Uncle Larry, who ended up becoming my therapist. But embracing pain, bro. I was going through trauma with dealing with the loss of two of my best friends, who was taken from us way too early. And it kind of set me back emotionally after I lost one. Thought I dealt with it, which I didn't. It was just a cover up. Right. I wasn't dealing with it, and then I lost another. One of my best friends. It kind of happened back to back between 2 years, and it kind of resurrected a lot of very bitter bones I had from losing Vontae. Vontae Hardison, man, my brother, love you. DeMarcus Jones, love you, brother. So once DeMar had passed after Devontae, I was just in a dark place. I was like, these are guys I was with every day before their demise, and easily could have been there with them, and it just set me back to a real dark place where I just felt like I didn't have support from people who really didn't know what was going on with me. I didn't talk about it. I was very closed up, and I have my moments where I would break down, and one day, I was on a couch, crying snot bubbles all of that, so it's okay to cry and let it out. But at the same time, I was also like hungry. I took our food. Yeah, man, I had took our food to cook, and I'm like, man, I ain't trying to waste this food. I really don't got no money like that. You know what I'm saying? So, yeah, man, I got up in the kitchen and started cooking, and I was playing some Bobby Womack. I'm over the stove and whipping, and when I sat down at my bar to start eating, the tears dried up, and I felt a calmness come over me. And, I took myself to go see a therapist. A lot of black people don't believe in that in our community.
Right.
Or at least we didn't before. Times are changing. And in that moment, I realized that cooking is something that calmed me down. Now, before that happened, my therapist had told me, you need to keep coming to therapy until therapy finds you. And for a minute, I didn't know what that meant until she got in depth and explained that you won't always need to come sit down on the couch and talk to somebody about your problems. You're going to have these outlets in your life where your pain or your hurt or even your happiness at times, can be exerted onto something in your life that you like to do.
Yeah.
And mine for me ended up being cooking, man. And so whether it was stress at work, whether it was dealing with the loss of my brothers, which I still go through, or dealing with financial issues or heartache through old relationships or anything I was going through with my old lady at the time, bro, I got in that kitchen and made something happen every single time. And a lot of those posts that people like and repost and put heart eyes, so this looks so good, have no idea like what made me get up off my ass and go create those dishes.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So there was pretty much a story behind why I got into cooking, and people early on was asking me like, why do you love cooking so much? And I tell I don't love it. At the time I didn't, because I was using it as a weapon, but now that weapon has saved my life, I believe. Right. So the love I have for cooking now comes from such a deep-rooted place. The saying, the rose grew from concrete. So that's pretty much how that happened in cooking my baby, man. Couldn't love him more now. So
right.
Yeah.
So when you were describing that time period, you said that, you in a way you felt like people around you were not there for you, but at the same time, they were not there for you because you wasn't exactly transparent in what you were feeling at the time.
Yeah.
So do you think that a part of the reason that you were so closed off is because of the stigma behind mental health, and also you being a male, and also you being a black male, and how we are? It's like, you better get, you crying, it's snot bubbles, you better, So what part did that play in it, of you just kind of holding that in and not, fully, reaching out to your friends and be like, dude, like, I'm out of it, like, I'm hurt, bro. So what is all that I just mentioned a part of the reason why you kept it in?
Man. Absolutely, dog. I just, for starters, man, I was always so good at dealing with death. Growing up, I had people in my family that passed from cancer or other timely demises, and my mother, Jesus, that is a strong black woman, man. Jesus, my mother's a strong woman, and I kind of saw how she just
carried it,
just body shit. You know what I'm saying? Like, she never really let me see her break down. And just seeing that, and which even that in itself, you would think like, Mom, it's okay to be vulnerable.
Right.
You know what I mean? And I guess to an extent, I didn't want to be vulnerable because I didn't want nobody having a perception of me as being weak.
Right.
And yeah, man, I kind of got on my high horse and just felt like that all of this is okay. And it was really my Uncle Larry who kind of echoed that to me, like, bro, if you gotta scream, kick, punch the air, whatever you gotta do, bro, like, get that shit out.
Yeah.
And now, considering myself a mental health advocate, letting everybody know, especially of color, that it's okay to go seek help. A therapist don't mean that you have to go sit down and talk to somebody and pay them money. You can outsource that hurt or that pain to somebody who can understand you or that you can relate to, or simply somebody to just listen.
Right.
And that's kind of what ended up happening. I just got tired of being a strong guy.
Yeah.
I've always kind of been that friend, and you can relate to this, that everybody come to for problems. Whether they need something physically or whether they just need a lending ear or advice.
Yeah.
And in a lot of those cases, bro, like, and you know, correct me if I'm wrong. How often does somebody ask you, well, are you okay? What's going on with you? Anything you want to talk about?
No, not the strong friend or the friend in our position is he never gets checked on. Really, you know what I mean?
We don't, man. You
Yeah.
know, and you know, throughout the years, just randomly, you know, I post my guys, you know, on social media, anybody I've lost, and which it doesn't bother me, but you know, I still never get that message like, "Hey, you good, bro? Just checking on you." You know, I got a couple of people that do that, a couple, and those are the ones who I have like opened up to fully about, you know, a lot of the traumas and pain that I've been feeling, but yes, man, absolutely. You know, Bone Apple Tea Season 1, my cookbook, I drop a lot of gems in there for mental health. And even on my post on IG, you know, now I started putting mental health quotes for people to grasp and kind of hold on to.
And Bible verses too.
Yeah.
As I'm hearing you talking, I'm picturing, or I'm getting the idea that part of the enjoyment for you as far as, you know, being a chef and, you know, catering these events is not so much, you know, because a lot of cooks love to see people enjoy their food, right? But I think it's a different level for you because you saw what food took you from. So you seeing the happiness that people get from your food probably takes your appreciation to a whole different level. Am I right?
Absolutely, bro.
Yeah.
Absolutely, man. I have a funny story, man. I was cooking for one of my clients this past summer, and he had some friends over, and I had made this pomegranate molasses chicken. It's one of my recipes I love to make. It's a baked chicken with a pomegranate molasses glazed over the top, and I use a sherry white wine sauce infused with a pineapple tequila.
Right.
And I put that over the top, and I dressed the plate and made it look pretty. And this young lady, one of his friends that was there, took a bite into it. My back was to her. I was still making plates or whatever, and this is what I hear. Oh my God. Can't make this up. I thought something bad happened. You know, I turned around, bro, and she was eating the food. She was wide-eyed, and she was just like, you know, just astounded. And I was like, are you good? She's like, this is so damn good. What is this? Like, the chicken, the sauce, you know, like, shit like that, bro. Like, I've had a lot of dope reactions like that, you know, across the board. And, you know, every time I get them, it kind of just takes me back, like, bro, like, your food bring people joy.
Yeah.
You know, I've actually cooked for people who wasn't having, you know, such good days. You know, I had a client I cooked for before who was doing something special for his wife, but he was having a really bad day and almost canceled. Hold up. And, you know, over the phone, I talked to him, and I was like, you know, I got some tricks up my sleeve tonight, you know, so don't be discouraged. You had a bad day. Some things happened to him, and you know, I got there and did more than I was supposed to, and that, you know, just that small token kind of changed everything around on how he was feeling.
Right.
You know, so yeah, food definitely bring bliss, bro, for sure.
For sure. So all this time, your friends, people around you, been telling you, Al, you need to do more with this cooking. So at what point did you go from, I don't really love cooking like that. It's just, you know, I know I can cook. You know, I need to eat, so I'm a cook. At what point did you go from that to the Dirty Apron?
Okay, so back to those friends that was just, you know, pressing that big red button, like, do something with this. You know what I'm saying? You know, like the YouTube channel or selling plates or, you know, a food truck, which, you know, I didn't want to do any of those things.
Yeah.
I originally said that I'm just, you know, going to be a private chef. Like, what I set out to do, and my favorite thing to do still to this day, is to cook for couples. I love lighting the candles, the rose petals, lighting shit on fire, flipping stuff in the kitchen, all of that.
Yeah.
You know, but when I was coming up with the business idea of just, you know, being a private chef that can come to your home and cook for you and your old lady, you know, I was like, well, how could I make it, you know, bigger than my own vision? I didn't know where it was going to go at first, bro. Like, I really didn't. So what I did was I kind of lit a fire under my own ass and said, well, we're going to figure out what you're going to do, but you're going to start first and foremost.
Right.
And I think
always the hardest part.
Exactly. And I think that was honestly, bro, like the biggest first step I've had in my life towards being more disciplined and not being so much of a procrastinator. Because dog, I used to procrastinate about everything, and I still do with certain things. But I've developed these new habits that are getting me away from that, and, and has got me away from it in certain parts. So, the first part was starting. I made the announcement. I made the announcement like maybe a month before my birthday last year, and then on my birthday I dropped a little video of me and my mom and stuff, and you know, from that I had no expectation of what was gonna happen, and bro, it just started booming. I started getting bookings after bookings after bookings.
Right. So, talk to us about, because you said you announced this last year, and you fast forward to now. You've, been cooking for an NBA player during this off season. You've gotten a major opportunity. I'll let you, announce that when you're ready. And all this stuff that you've been able to do in what's really a short amount of time. So can you tell us like that process? Take us through this last year and how fast things have been moving and how you had to adjust. Because I'm sure, like you said, you didn't have any, because you're kind of going on the fly, like having to, make new menus, having to do this, having to, change your business model a little bit, So can you talk about that?
Absolutely. Hey, that's a testimony in itself. What I will say is, God is good all the time.
And all the time.
Yeah. God, so, man, the journey kind of has been light speed for me. I didn't expect for it to pick up as fast as it did. As I mentioned. I hate to say thank you to COVID because people done lost their lives, but COVID was a good time for me to start this business, and I had no intention on starting no business, in COVID, but I think that played a major factor in how many clients that I got right off the bat within the first year, because you really couldn't do nothing.
Right.
A lot of things was closed down, restaurants were closed, you had to pick up food to go, and I think a lot of people had to get creative about how to make more moments special. So they started bringing private chefs to their home. So I will say that I think that played a big part in what I had to do, and I keep it completely a buck. Since Houston has been back open, it has slowed down a bit.
Yeah.
I still have a lot of business, but it wasn't as prevalent as it was during the hype of COVID, because nobody couldn't do nothing. You know what I'm saying? But even outside of that, I still got the opportunity to cook for certain high-end clients who, had me day in and day out, in the kitchen whipping. And, I meal prep for, a certain base of clients, who had me in the kitchen whipping. And it's just, I think my consistency on social media is kind of what kept me with skin in the game. And also, a big thing I think that helped, I'm all about catching people's attention.
Yeah.
My presentation, bro. Like, and I know I'm not where I'm going, but for where I'm at now, my presentation really grasps people. Yeah. And they be like, damn, it look good. You know what I'm saying?
Let me stop you there, because I want to ask you this question. You talked about your mom being the influence, and when we were talking at your birthday dinner, she was saying, hey, I don't even have that skill as far as the presentation goes. So how did you get that skill? How did you really hone that? And what was the spark that made you want to, present your food in such a way, because it is great presentation?
Well, for starters, I wasted a lot of money. I wasted a lot of money practicing how I plate my food, bro.
Yeah.
Basically, dog, I got on YouTube. I read books, and I follow people closely like Chef Tobias. And, I seen how a lot of, him and other chefs, how they plate their food and different techniques they use. And there's still a whole nother stratosphere I haven't even tapped into when it comes to plating that.
Right.
I'm about to get in my bag with some shit, dog.
Yeah.
Yeah, man. Yeah, man. It's coming.
Yeah.
But I just always felt like, food should look as good as it tastes.
Yeah.
In a lot of cases, things look, how can I put this? Like, gory delicious, like a loaded baked potato or, loaded fries or something like that. Like, some shit you get at a carnival. It look gory good. Like, damn, I want,
Yeah.
But that's not nothing people like really eating every day. That's like a treat yourself type of thing. So when it comes to just, cuisine or fine dining, I kind of felt like I'm gonna make my plate looked like a circus, but a bougie ass circus. Let me put it together and make it art. And I literally would be on my bar, head down with the paintbrush and doing my lines and my chef spoon and doing my. So that took time in itself. That definitely wasn't an overnight thing, either. Like I said, I still gotta. But the presentation, I definitely always felt like, man, if you're gonna serve anything to somebody, you make sure that this shit gonna look as good as it gonna taste.
Right.
So
the thing I think that separates you from other chefs, at least that I've seen, is that you are just as much, especially for your private events, you're just as much as an entertainer as you are a chef.
My boy.
You look at the videos, you dancing, you having a good time with because most people when they cater, they'll cook the food, they'll sit back,
Yeah.
But you literally entertain also.
Yeah, man. Hey, you ask any of my clients who don't book me before, and they'll tell you, that I entertain. That's something I put in my service fee, dog. Yeah. You get a singing, dancing ass chef. I talk, I crack jokes, sympathize. Sometimes I even go into deep conversations about people, spiritual status or political views. It just depends. I know how to read a room.
Yeah.
I like to bring a different substance, to the table when it comes to clients, so they don't just feel like I'm there to work. Of course I'm there to work. Like, you paid me to be there.
Right.
But I'm going to give you a whole different dynamic of my personality when it comes to my brand. I'm not no one trick pony, man. So I can do it all.
Have you ever had a bad review?
Damn, Khyrie, shit.
I mean, the reason I asked that question because I just can't imagine. But people be hating.
I've had one bad review. I'll be completely honest. Okay. You can keep this in your little podcast, I guess. I've had one bad review.
Yeah, I mean, me too. I've had bad reviews. If you go to Apple Podcasts right now and look at the review section, you're gonna see some people hating. 1 star.
I believe it.
Yeah.
Suckers.
Yeah.
Yeah, man. I had one bad review, dog. I had an event for this young lady birthday. This young lady, her name was Dominique. Don't care, I'm gonna say her name. She was very professional. She encouraged me to do better. She sent me a very professional email after the event.
Yeah.
Man, she was not pleased, and I definitely dropped the ball. And in all of these areas, these are things that I had got better at early on when I was doing my bookings. One, I was late, and I was late because I was trying to get things last minute because I didn't prep right, and prepping is such a huge part of cooking in general. So I learned that lesson the hard way with this client. And she was a very, very, very timely person. Not only that, but what she do for a living, she was a PI, and she was a private investigator.
Oh wow, very detail oriented.
Yeah, man. So when I told her I was running behind and what time I was gonna be there, like, she knew there was a lot, and I got there, set up, did everything, and it was on a Sunday, and she had a alcohol beverage that was part of her. Her menu, and liquor stores not open on Sundays. Yeah, so I had to bring alcohol from my house. It wasn't the alcohol she ordered, and she ended up knowing that. And yeah, man, she wrote me an email, telling me just how unprofessional I was and how late I was, and the food was amazing, but you should do better at X, Y, and Z. And like, knowing where I messed up, bro, I just felt completely like shit.
Yeah,
like I just felt bad because, first of all, it's somebody's food. You don't play with nobody's food, bro.
Yeah.
Like at all. But since then, I've gotten a lot better. I don't have those problems no more. That was the only bad review I've gotten.
How hard is that not to take personal?
Not at all. It's business.
Okay,
it's
so
business,
you didn't take it personal at all?
Yeah. Okay. I think the only thing that I took personal with a grain of salt at first was that she's not going to refer me to nobody.
Gotcha.
As much marketing as I do on social media, the best form of marketing is word of mouth.
Right. If
somebody can come up to you and tell you, hey, you should talk to Khyrie about X, Y, and Z because he is in his bag with this. He know what he's doing. They're more likely to talk to you than seeing that on a billboard that they just passing up.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So sure. And I think honestly, a bulk of my clients that I've had through the past year have been people who've experienced me, who have loved the experience, and have told somebody that's your guy for whatever event that you need. Right. And I knew I wasn't getting that from her. You know, so that was the only thing that kind of irked my nerves, and that just made me go harder. And she was right about everything she told me.
Yeah.
Thank you for that, Mama. You know, but I've definitely got better in those regards. Those would not happen again.
Right.
Know?
So what is your? I'm asking you this question, even though I hate when people ask me this question. What is your long-term goals for the Dirty Apron?
I want my own restaurant.
Okay.
Like mine.
Yeah.
Just solely me, no investors. I want my own restaurant. It doesn't have to be, hit you over the head, top of fancy. It doesn't have to be a hole in the wall. I just want something that's me.
Right.
That can cater to, a wide range, variety of people, cultural, especially. And then I want to cook for more of those high-end clients, more of those professional athletes, entertainers, political figures even. I feel like once I reach, that pinnacle that I'm going to be one of the best, in my lane where I cook at in my lane. There are different lanes of culinary, but
yeah.
And I feel like once I reach that, hell yeah, I should be cooking for Cardi B or LeBron James. You name it, nigga. I'm trying to be up there. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, man. So. I definitely want my own place one day. Don't know what I'm gonna call it or what it's gonna be, but I know I'm headed in that direction if if God say the same. So
right. I mean, I think the Dirty Apron is a good name
for a restaurant.
Yeah. But so okay, for business owners out there, because you are a business owner that is trying to figure out social media, what are some of the keys? Because I feel like you're really good at social media. You're good at staying consistent. Posting visually appeasing videos and pictures. So if you had advice for anybody that's trying to figure out social media and how to build their clientele, what would be your advice?
The first thing I would tell anybody is to stay consistent.
Yeah.
Don't go too long without posting. I think some days, me going 4 to 5 days is way too long, to be honest, because I have other peers, like my homeboy Jamil, the chef, and Chef Jay, like they post damn near every day.
Yeah.
Definitely be consistent in your post to get people attention. You want to stay relevant. And the reason I say that, I follow the algorithm on Instagram and I look at, the followers and the unfollows and the interactions that I get, and that stuff really fluctuates. So like if you're not on it, you're gonna lose people.
Yep.
And I know it's not all about a following, but you still want to hold people's attention with your craft, regardless of what you're selling. That they keep coming back to your page.
Right.
So that's one aspect of it. The second aspect of it, I would tell you, promote the hell out of yourself, bro, because nobody is gonna promote you more than your damn self.
Right. You
have to put your stuff out there on multiple different platforms. Be appeasing, be eye popping, eye gazing, and I would also encourage people to find something that relates to you or your brand that you can kind of tie into one, to kind of target a different audience. And what I would say, and I don't do this to target a certain audience, I do this because it means something to me. For instance, the mental health with the quotes and everything, and being a mental health advocate, bro, like I know that certain people, for instance, that have DM me, certain people follow me, for those quotes and those gems. Of course, they probably like the food here and there, but I know that they use, a lot of my slogans and quotes, to help them get through days if they going through something or something that they can pass on to somebody else. Right. So have a purpose behind your brand.
Do you ever get burnt out? Like I'm tired of cooking?
Yes. Yes, bro. Yeah, man. Hey, what's funny is a lot of times when I cook, like if I have some people over and I'm cooking a spread and I'm done, everybody make their plates. Somebody look and say, "Hey, are you not eating?" Nah. Yeah. And that's a chef thing. I don't know what it is. Yeah. As I'm going and I'm tasting my food, making sure everything is where it needs to be. When I'm done, bro, like I probably won't eat until an hour or two later, if not the next day. Like it's just like that. But on the other side of that, bro, like I cook so much. Sometimes it be like, bro, I'm okay. I don't even need cooking right. Like, I don't need to be the therapeutic chef right now. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. Like, goddamn, I'm tired. But since the therapeutic side has developed into a love for it and a passion, bro, like I never just get tired of cooking where I feel like, bro, I'm just tired of this shit. Like it's always a silver lining of joy. Like I appreciate it. There's a deep rooted appreciation for what I do.
Right. Have you gotten to the point where, because you have all these like Chef Tobias and all these people that you kind of want to learn from, have you gotten to the point where people are hitting you up to learn from you?
Yeah. A lot of peers.
Yeah.
Nobody in the culinary world, I don't think, but a lot of my peers who I know like can actually cook always ask me for tips on how to do X, Y, and Z, and like even that means a lot to me,
Right.
So yeah, if anybody got any questions, DM the Dirty Apron by Al. I don't hold no sauce. First of all, it's a lot of something I've learned about the culinary industry is kind of like the fashion industry. Like, in fashion, a lot of things are recycled. We think we've seen something new, but our parents were rocking it back in the 70s or 80s, and we just find a way to revamp it and make it our own. First of all, being a chef, and I got this from More Than an Athlete interview, Chef Jay, and she said that the moment you feel like you've learned all you needed to know in the culinary industry, like you haven't learned nothing at all. Just hang it up. Food is always evolving. People are finding new techniques to do stuff, but at the same time, like a lot of it is just a repeated cycle. Right. There's more than one way to skin a cat, so to say. So, yeah, bro. Like, I just feel like I would take something that I seen on Instagram or TikTok or YouTube or from one of my favorite chefs' Instagram, Chef Sibo. He cold as hell. He cooked for Juju Smith. He cooked for Jimmy Butler. Like, I'll take some of these guys' pictures of what I see they've made, or if they put a description, and I'd be like, okay, bet I'm gonna make that, but I'm gonna make it my way. You know what I'm saying? Like, so it's a lot of different variations on how you can do stuff, in the kitchen with a lot of different things, bro.
Right.
So,
I want to ask you this: how do you? Because I'm pretty sure you've experienced this, especially with our people, having people that you're close to want discounts. How do you deal with that?
Yeah. Hey, man, it's happened. It's happened. I got some friends who don't even ask for discounts. Niggas just want a free plate.
Yeah.
Like I got some people that'll hit me up like, you cooking today? What you cooking today? You made something? Shit, when you gonna make this? When you gonna make that, bro? I need some woo woo woo. A lot of times like it doesn't bother me at all because I know these are people who, before I even believed in myself to do what I'm doing, was pushing me off the cliff to jump and make some of this, of this cooking shit. So, yeah, man, I definitely get that. And I will say when it comes to people booking me, the most annoying thing that I come across is somebody asks me how much something costs. I will give them their quote once they fill out their consultation sheet or whatever, and I send it back to them. Either A, don't hear from them again, or they complain about it.
Yeah.
Or whatever. And something that is in very big bold letters on my consultation sheet is, I accommodate all of my clients' budget.
Right.
I know a lot of people go to my page, and I have people tell me this, that I'll cook for. They're like, bro, I first saw your page. I was like, I probably can't afford this nigga, what I'm saying? Like that, I'm like, bro, like, all of my food's gonna look phenomenal, first and foremost. It don't matter what you get in your budget, it's all gonna look phenomenal.
Right.
But what they don't understand is if you acquire about lamb chops and my loaded lobster mac and cheese pasta, and then you want the seafood fondue mashed potatoes, that's gonna cost you a little bit.
Right.
Goddamn, that shit ain't cheap.
Yeah.
And that's just me buying the food. That ain't even you paying me for my service. You know what I'm saying?
Exactly.
People gotta understand that with food, bro. Like, chefs cooking, this is our livelihood, dog. You're paying for what you want to eat, and then you're paying for our services.
Right.
Period. So I be having to explain to clients, once they've acquired about a certain dish, like, this is how much this costs, but let me know your budget. I can meet you there and give you something that's gonna be equally as tasty and still gonna look good.
Right.
That can accommodate your pockets. You know what I'm saying? And a little trick in marketing for any up and coming entrepreneurs is, whenever you're sending out your pricing to anybody for what they inquire, you want to put that price in the middle. You want to price them for what they want in the middle. You want to price them on something more expensive that sounds more, elaborate above that. And then you want to price something that's cheaper below what they inquired about. So that way they're looking at their menu like, okay, damn, like what's more elaborate sound a whole lot better than what I'm getting, but what I'm getting is still gonna hit. I know, but if I want to save some more pennies, I can go a little bit lower and still get good quality.
Right.
Like you want to give them options, and it hits the bullseye every time. A lot of people they come back to me and say, you know what, we're gonna go ahead and take the more expensive price. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? So that's a really good marketing tip for on all your entrepreneurs out there. But yeah, bro, it happens all the time. People want a free plate. If you're not in my inner circle, you can't even hit my line like that. I'm going to tell you no. And a lot of them niggas get told no.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like I got to be in the mood where where I feel like I'm in a happy place where I want to cook a lot. I open my phone like, hey, come grab you a plate if you buy, something like that. But other than that, don't ask me for no damn discounts. Don't ask me for no free food. The answer is not no. It's hell no. Yeah.
Are you even capable of making regular dishes now? Like, like when you're cooking for yourself, like, can you every time you cook, do you just have to go all out?
You think I'm cooking like that every time, Khyrie?
I don't know. I'm just saying, well, so you are capable of doing regular dishes.
Hey, man. I still buy my head over them Roman noodles. I still eat the Tortitos pizza rolls, the Hot Pockets. Look, I'm never I come from humble beginnings, goddamn. Yeah. If I don't have the energy to go heat up no damn skillet, Domino's me, Wingstop me, you know what I'm saying? Like, right. But even when I do cook for myself and I do make these elaborate dishes that takes a lot of time and patience, even cooking for myself, I still don't dress my plate like that. Yeah. I just make a regular plate. Gotcha. Now, when I know I'm taking pictures for the gram or if I'm cooking for clients, you getting the whole nine. You know what I'm saying? Yeah.
For sure. All right. For this last question, I'm gonna put you on the spot, and just know this person gonna see this, so answer carefully. Who is the better cook, you or your mom?
Mama, I love you. Yeah, P.O.P. Hold it down. Hey, man, my tea lady, man, my mama, she gonna always be my favorite cook, and her and I go back and forth all the time. She's my favorite cook because I grew up on her spoon. You know what I'm saying? Like, it just hits home for me. It's coming from a different place for me doing it. Mm-hmm. And even though I have surpassed my mom in the kitchen in areas, I have surpassed you in the kitchen in areas. You know what I'm saying? Man, her cooking just hit home for me every time. So, my mama, she got me, man. She got me.
All right, he conceded, people. Y'all heard it.
Yeah.
Lastly, is there anything you want to say to the people out there, how they can find you, how they can book you? Any tips on, how to deal with mental health or whatever you want to say? The floor is yours.
Yeah, man. Al Spikes, Chef Alex. You can find me on Instagram at The Dirty Apron by Al. Twitter, The Dirty Apron B1. The letter B, number 1. And also my page on Facebook, The Dirty Apron by Al. Check your boy out. Links in bio for booking, or just simply DM me. We can go the more personal route that way. And also, for any and everybody dealing with any or everything out there, bro, there is a tomorrow, there's a silver lining. Definitely get some help if you need it. Talk to somebody. Don't just hold that shit in. And I will leave you with this. Always embrace the pain. Do not let it consume you. Peace, love, and happiness.
Thank you, Al. Thank you guys for listening. We out.